Welcome back. I'm glad you're here. Turns out there'd been like a wire swap or something in the house while I was gone, and apparently it was just unplugged, and so literally the internet was like half a bip. Like I did a speed test right after I shut this down because nothing was happening. It was like locking up on my end, and I was like, I had to do a quick fix on it. Like I was like, all right, well maybe I'll change the settings or something like that. And I was like, I'm just getting like it's weirdly bad, even for the current state that I'm in. And wouldn't you know it? By gosh and by golly, wouldn't you know it? Just wires unplugged. Just 'cause fuck it. Just yeah, why have them plugged in? And by the way, yes, I am streaming from Hunter Biden's laptop. Normally it's great, but it's I guess you know what, I need to defrag the hard drive. So I'm just going to bask in the fact that I don't have to worry about, I don't have to police baseline quality. Yeah, it was so bad. It was so, when you do a speed test and it's like not even, it was like 0.8 Mbips, MIPS. It's pretty fucking terrible. It's terrible. So here we are again. We're better off. And I think it should be fairly smooth. So let's give it another try, shall we? Especially considering we were getting to the big, oh my gosh, the pièce de résistance, of course, which is, oops, I got to move my camera's got a little, so there you go. Soros, not looking good these days. I mean, I thought adrenochrome was supposed to keep you young. I think it's one of the biggest side stories that isn't really a story that we keep hearing about, I have to say, is that all these stories about these people, the lizard people who drink adrenochrome and stuff, all of them are aging terribly. I'm starting to think that this whole adrenochrome story is horseshit. I'm not going to lie. I think it's, yeah. And besides, isn't he supposed to be paying for the media empire? I haven't gotten a check yet. What the hell? So, all right, here we go. Dun, dun. Backing far left. Soros backing far left district attorneys. Jews and black ladies. Look at them. 2 black ladies and a Jewish person. Soros. Politics of crime. Da, 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 da. Jesus Christ. Is that the intro, or is that some other fucking movie that they're like?
Next series continues tonight. Crime in New York City.
Yes, it's a series. It's a series of crimes in New York City, and that's why we have on with us today Rudolph Giuliani, who, because if anybody knows about criminality inside New York, oh boy, it's this fella.
Surging in the first 3 months of the year. It's not a surprise, of course. Rapes up 16%. Look at that. Robberies up 47%. Felony assault 19%. Burglary up 31%. Grand larceny. People stealing things.
So robbery isn't people stealing things or burglary? Just the grand larceny? And by the way, grand larceny, can we have some baseline numbers? Up from what? This time last year?
No big problem in major cities right now. 57% increase in grand larceny. And yes, a Soros-funded district attorney is behind this crime spike as well, at least in the borough of Manhattan. Alvin Bragg took the...
Oh, you mean the guy who was going to let Trump off?
In January. Bragg is the first candidate Soros has reportedly funded for Manhattan DA.
Thanks, Asa.
To the tune of $1 million. And if Soros supports him...
Then why did he want to dismantle the the Trump team and not prosecute. The hell? Wait a minute. Is Soros actually benefiting from Trump being in office, and therefore
That means, of course, prepare for lawlessness, and that's what we're seeing.
let's see. How do we prepare for lawlessness? Do I have to is it all just prepper food, or or should I rub one out so I'm not on edge, so I don't become a criminal?
New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani joins us tonight, former United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Sir, thank you for coming on. Good to see you. Let's take a look at Bragg's day one memo that he put out when he first came in. He eventually...
Yeah, the guy who was, again, going to let Trump off.
Walk some of this back.
Literally, people were resigning in protest because this asshole didn't want to prosecute Trump.
Laid out his priorities, saying, quote, growing up in Harlem in the 1980s, I saw every side of the criminal justice system from a young age before I was 21 years old.
Excuse me, you have no idea how hard life can be until you've been Rudy Giuliani. He was born a poor black child.
I had a gun pointed at me 6 times, in large part because of these experiences. I have dedicated my career to the inextricably linked goals of safety and fairness, and he effectively outlines policies that are the exact opposite of the kinds of policies you and your NYPD implemented to make this city much safer.
Yes, to decouple safety and fairness entirely.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the main ones he outlined there was he wasn't going to incarcerate people who did armed robbery as long as they didn't shoot someone.
Yeah.
Well, he reversed.
So, and by the way, the sigh of relief coming from Mar-a-Lago when he announced that was you could hear it all the way in New York.
But he did allow for armed robberies that didn't involve a lot of money. And I'd say...
You mean pickpocketing?
Probably...
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on? Sorry.
That's okay. I'll be done in a few, so just 10 minutes.
He's doubled to tripled the number of people who do not get prosecuted now, which along with our Cuomo Hochul, she's our new governor, bail law, is responsible for this incredible increase in crime a third month into Adam.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like he doesn't want to prosecute anybody, not even real criminals like Donald Trump.
Mayoralty, and Adams is trying to be a law and order mayor. Imagine if we didn't have a law and order mayor.
Oh,
I mean,
we don't have a law and order mayor. I don't honestly.
Crazy.
If you still had de Blasio,
increase in crime is crazy.
If you still had de Blasio with Alvin Bragg, what kind of situation would be
What
like?
kind of loop is
bro.
this? What is this loop?
I mean, he actually.
It's a Crime Stoppers. The irony.
De Blasio had a couple of 100%.
What? Seriously, it's New York City.
He had a 100% increase in shootings 2 years in a row. I mean, these people are
So there were no shootings, and then 2 shootings, and then 4 shootings.
Close to insane.
They're close to insane. How close? Obviously, the current DA, Alvin Bragg, is saying that he knows he's seen crime from all sides, so therefore he's very aware of it. Obviously, you seem to know a lot about craziness.
They think they're going to reduce crime by putting people on the streets.
Right.
And this is a Soros conspiracy throughout
If it is, then why didn't he go after Trump?
the United States.
Why did people, like, nobody resigned to get him to, because he wasn't prosecuting, like, dudes who used a rubber gun that was painted orange to get $2 out of somebody.
You know, in the 2022 cycle, he's now with his daughter, Andrea, they're funding defund the mayor candidates like Cori Bush and 4 or 5 other new
Defund the mayor? You mean defund the police? Is Cori Bush trying to defund the having a mayor in New York?
You know, for the AOC wackos. And they're running on a straight out defund the police.
Okay, defund the police.
So when the Democrat Party tells you they're not defund the police,
They actually put it in the budget and fund the police.
their single biggest fundraiser is funding the defund the police movement.
That is some next level financial chess. Are we sure Hunter Biden's not involved in that? I mean, they've got to be shuffling money through some sort of defund the fund slush fund.
Just like he defunded the get rid of the prosecutors movement in 2016. And he's probably succeeded in about 30 cities.
Yeah.
And about 12 of those set a record last year for murder.
Let's take a listen real quick to the New York.
And again, the people he's putting in apparently aren't going after Trump. And they are going after Hunter Biden. I'm beginning to think this Soros fellow might be on the other team.
City Police Commissioner.
The criminal justice reform laws that took effect in 2020, I think that is definitely part of the thinking that needs to change. We can keep most of the important elements of the reform, but there are absolutely some things that need to be adjusted.
I mean, she's had enough as well. I mean,
yeah, and right, she views it as an overcorrection, and then they're going back. Fucking yes.
Anybody with common sense looks at this and it's just mayhem, and they just want to keep.
Yeah, it's not just mayhem. Asshole, you're both in New York. It's not just mayhem. Again, if you're having to put these percentages up and you're not balancing them out with actual numbers, fuck off.
Perpetuating.
There's 7 million people in New York.
I can't understand what they think they're going to get to that's going to justify this.
Well, they're not. She's saying dial back some of it. And just like the people who resigned because Bragg didn't want to go after Trump, she's saying that he's not going far enough with these kind of things and they need to adjust the policy because it was an overcorrection in the wrong direction. It was well-meaning and they were trying to fix some things, but it actually didn't solve the problem and it caused more, which happens. So you fix it. She's not throwing out the baby with the bathwater and saying defund the police. She's the fucking commissioner.
Well, what they succeeded in doing last year is setting a record for homicide. For example, in the city of Philadelphia, there were more homicides than ever before in its 260-year history. Same thing was.
Again, what is this? Is there ever a day in New York City since ever that something like this doesn't happen?
In 13 other American cities.
Yeah.
St. Louis, another example. Now, and those cities have heavy black population. The number of black victims was 75%. So what they succeeded in doing is getting an awful lot of black men killed.
Why are they men? What are you talking about? Black people killed is what you mean, 75%.
And Black Lives Matter, by the way, didn't have a memorial service, a funeral.
No.
No. I mean, they obviously don't have time because it's mayhem in New York.
Piece of.
You can't even get across town because everybody gets murdered.
Or a prayer for any of those people who were slaughtered because of Soros.
This is by the way, the double standard idea of Black Lives Matter. So that Black Lives Matter is about police brutality. It's not about all crime, all stuff, all the time. But because it's Black Lives Matter, they get to use that phrase, which is why sometimes when you use a hashtag or a bumper sticker like phrase, which is narrowly cast on something that uses incendiary or inviting language that catches, that's eye-catching language. That it often will eat itself after a certain amount of time, and that's what they're using. This is not new. This is the anti-BLM stuff, which they've wanted to do. They're basically saying, well, you don't care about other lives. What about abortions? Like that kind of thing.
This funding, they're not really district attorneys. It would be as if you put a traitor in the district attorney's office.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Explain that, though. I mean, explain how do you implement policies to get all these people killed, and somehow there's nobody cares enough to even ask that question to them. Nobody, they don't need any to validate this.
Rob, I faced it in 1992, 91, 92, 93, 94. The years before I came into office, we were averaging 2,000 murders a year. We had 2 major riots that lasted for 4 days.
Yeah.
We had all kinds of crime.
Yeah. and they didn't have any riots while I was president. I mean, obviously we had the worst terrorist attack ever, but that's obviously Rudy's fault.
And the people were upset with it, and there were judges then that would let people out. And Ed Koch had started this, and I continued it, and I was not shy about criticizing them. And we kind of changed them a bit, and then I appointed 100 judges. So the whole thing did take about 2 years. But you have to have a steely determination to do it. You can't be like Adams. You know, like this bail law.
By the way, it was the crime bill. It had nothing to do with what he did. It was dropping all over the country.
Literally and figuratively killing us right now.
It is.
People get arrested, they go right out. That is accounting for those big numbers that you see. Adams knows it's wrong. Hochul's running for election.
He doesn't have the Constitution.
The legislature's running for election.
Yeah.
This is where you use your political leverage for the good of the people.
Yeah.
Not for your own personal good. Not for the good of your...
And again, for Rudy, his own personal good was in hyper-incarceration. The public has moved on, and that's why the trend shift.
Political party. And I did this when I was mayor with Mario Cuomo because we were in terrible financial difficulty. You basically go to her and tell her, would you like to be elected? And when she says yes, you're going to need my support. Because he's more popular than her.
Right.
And tell her, look, this isn't personal. It's all business. You don't get that bail thing done, I'm supporting one of the other candidates. And you're dead.
Yeah. Thank God we're shying away from incendiary language of violence.
America's Mayor Rudy Giuliani.
You're dead, America's mayor.
Thank you so much for taking the time. It's a real problem, and we're seeing it all over the country. Good to see you.
No.
And it's a Democrat problem, 100%.
100%.
Oh, that's right, because Democrats run all the big cities where all the money's made.
You're right about that. Thank you, sir.
100%. Yeah, that's right. I mean, because nobody gives a shit about... sorry, I was checking because the guys are coming in a minute. Hold on. Oh, we already did that one. Oh, we got through all the videos today. And I only had to fix... Well, we got halfway through that one, but I have no interest. Blech. Like... It's just like the laziest editorializing bullshit. It was a little choppy when we were doing it, but it's not worth going back for. I'm just saying. Yeah, no. So everybody's getting together here at 5:30. So they're probably going to be loading in about 10 minutes. Maybe I can get
29% of the...
Hold on. This is from the same show we were watching with Glenn the other day because he's still in this, or it's equally cold. He's sweating a little, though. So maybe it's, I don't know what's up.
Top-selling baby formula products are...
Hold on. Wait. 20% of what? Top-selling baby? What?
29% of the top-selling baby formula products are out of stock and have been out of stock by...
29% of the top-selling baby formula products, which means not 29% of the companies that they're completely out of stock. 29% of their stock is out of stock. Like fucking stupid.
Mid-March, Date Assembly, which tracks baby formula stock at 11,000 retailers. They say this is a shocking number. You don't see it now for other categories. We've been tracking it over time. It's going up dramatically. We see this category is being affected by economic conditions more dramatically than others. The second largest pharmacy, Walgreens, with over 9,000 locations, announced it's now rationing baby formula. Guys, we haven't even started yet.
Yes. Who lines up at Walgreens to get their baby formula rations? They mean to the sites. They're not sending it to every Walgreens because it doesn't sell at every Walgreens. They're sending it to the one where people with kids go.
And they say it is because there was a recall in January.
Oh, I see. There was a what?
Baby formula. And they say it is because there was a recall in January.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was Biden inflation.
Baby formula, and they say it is because there was a recall in January, but also vital ingredients we can't get, packaging apparently.
Apparently, the recall because of the vital ingredients. And by the way, list the vital ingredients. Let me see if I can find this. Hold on one second. This is gonna bug me. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Walgreens rations baby formula. Okay, here we go. So this is fucking Wall Street Journal. Yeah, this is the Wall Street Journal article. Let me see if I can get this in here. There you go. Baby formula shortage prompts rationing at Target, Kroger, Walgreens, and CVS. Stores impose purchase limits after Abbott recall adds to strain of already limited supplies. The biggest U.S. retailers are rationing baby formula as a recall by the maker of Similac and other popular brands exacerbates already spotty supply in much of the country. As of Tuesday, they have limited quantities of many baby formulas that consumers are able to buy online or in some stores. The Target spokesperson said stores in most states have a 5 per day limit. 5 per day limit per person on baby formula at the request of the Food and Drug Administration. CVS said it recently began limiting purchases in stores and online to 3 per customer. Walgreens said it implemented limits in stores and online last month. Kroger didn't respond to requests for comment. Parents say that baby formula has been hard to find for months in parts of the country. Supplies were further strained by a February recall by Abbott Laboratories, one of the biggest manufacturers, after consumer complaints of bacteria contamination that caused severe illness in infants. 4 infants who consumed its products were hospitalized and 1 died. The company expanded the recall, which involved powdered versions of Similac, Alimentum, and Elecare brands made at the same Michigan facility on March 1st after being informed of the death of another infant that consumed its product. Abbott said Tuesday that it's taking steps to increase formula availability. The company is increasing Similac production at other FDA-registered facilities, shipping formula from Europe by air, and adding facilities capable of producing formula for infants with specific needs. It is also sharing supply information with rival formula makers to help them better meet demand. So other companies, plenty of shit. The FDA has said it is investigating complaints of 4 Chronobacter illnesses and 1 Salmonella illness that resulted in an infant hospitalization as early as September in Minnesota, Texas, and Ohio. Chronobacter illnesses, which include sepsis and meningitis, are rare but can be lethal for infants, according to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Salmonella can cause fever and digestive issues and sometimes severe illness, according to the CDC. Abbott, when it expanded the recall, said that none of its distributed projects tested positive for the presence of Chronobacter or Salmonella. The company said that it tests for pathogens including Chronobacter and Salmonella before releasing its products. The CDC performed whole genome sequencing on the Chronobacter samples available from 2 children who were sickened and found the bacteria wasn't closely related to the strains found in samples obtained from the Michigan facility. So, all right. Manufacturers and retailers have differed over the severity of the long-running shortages of baby formula and who is to blame. Before the Abbott recall, retailers blamed supply chain problems for troubles keeping some stores stocked, while formula makers said there weren't widespread problems on the manufacturing side. In January, formula shortages were spotty and limited to certain areas and retailers. Supply levels were sufficient nationwide on average, according to the IRI, a market researcher. For the week ended March 3rd, retailers nationwide had baby formula out of stock 13% of the time. An out of stock rate of about 10% is typically considered a problem. That's the whole of this kind of shit.
Has problems. The freight costs are through the roof and labor shortages.
It's incredible. A friend of mine had a baby boy, preemie, I think 24 or 25 weeks, early enough that it was like almost impossible.
Yeah.
20 years ago wouldn't have been possible.
Right.
And touch and go for a while, lived at the hospital for 6 months, I think. Finally came home.
Which is, of course.
And they have to feed him this very specific type of formula that's easy for him to digest, I guess. And they had months of this formula at their house, and then this recall happened. They had to throw it all out
Oh my gosh.
And now they spend half their time driving around Texas looking to different Walgreens and CVS's, hoping to find one canister of this stuff.
Imagine how frightening that would be if your child could not be breastfed. That would be adopted babies, mothers with some sort of a problem, babies with problems.
Yeah, that's why they're rationing it for those people.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
so that the people who just get it because they can or don't care don't run off with all of it.
It's got to be terrifying.
Right. But let's not pretend you're in a fucking refugee camp in Poland right now.
Fine. And I mean, he's like, we've got about 3 weeks left, so we should be good, hopefully, for now. And we have an order in from Amazon. We hope it comes. Like, they're just like on the edge of their seat.
They're not on the edge of their seat. These people accumulated months of formula ahead of time. And by the way, they could have held on to that stuff and not used it and made sure the recall affected that, because it turned out that the chronobacter that they found wasn't related to the one found at the Michigan facility. It'll say on the container whether it came from the Michigan facility or not. It might have come from the Minneapolis facility, and it might have been fine.
Trying to figure out whether they can feed their kid or not.
They can feed their kid.
Going to get worse.
No, it isn't.
And I think you're right. We're still at the beginning.
We're at the very beginning. Listen, take care of it and do all that you can do. This is so important. Do all.
Yes, stockpile baby formula so that you've spent all your money on it out of fear that there won't be any. And then when the next recall comes, you can throw it all out and panic that you may have been feeding your kid poison formula without being able to adjust.
You can do. Don't wait.
No, never wait.
Get food storage. Buy
buckets of pancake batter.
Of everything when you only one and store one. However you want to do it. But do all that you can do.
Okay. Okay.
And then trust. Trust that God is good and gracious.
Oh, fuck off. Do everything you can and then trust. Store food for the end times and then trust. Why don't you trust first? I guess trust God, but tie up your camel is the idea.
And that whatever it is, if you don't have enough, that's why you need a network. That's why.
Yeah. Maybe you can take baby formula from someone else with a baby. You need a network.
Need to rely on others. You're not going to starve to death.
No, you're not.
Not in the America that I know.
Not in America at all. You sonic sucking fuckhead.
So do all that you can do. Please do it now so you can.
Don't wait to panic. Panic right away, especially if you have children in the house. You should act and show them your panic.
A blessing to others. Speaking of shortages,
my penis.
How's the car coming? We're almost approaching 7 months now, aren't we?
Oh, no, we're over 7, Glenn.
Oh, we're over 7.
We're approaching 8 months. And we should point out, it's 8 months since I officially placed the order. So I went through a very lengthy process of, debating it and going back and forth, and finally placed the order. That was over 7 months ago.
Okay, so we just came from, dear God, these people can't feed their preemie. It's going to die. Crib death. And by the way, didn't you order a fancy new pickup truck?
And
because your car's like 10 years old or something, isn't it?
It's a 2000. I bought it in 2011, I think.
11.
So I mean, it's almost it's coming up on 11 years old.
Because you don't flip cars all the time.
No, and I liked the car that I had, so I just kept it. And now we're at 120,000 miles on it. Now I know it could ride a little bit longer, but I am thinking about every time I get in the car, I'm like, this is like the transmission's going to lock up today, isn't it?
Yeah.
No. It's not 1975, dum-dum.
Something's going to happen where...
What car do you have? And I bet you bought the exact same fucking car.
I get no...
My car is 2012.
I'll you out of the car at the end, or I'm going to have...
And I have way more than 120,000 miles on my vehicle.
You're really ahead of the game, really, in some ways, Almost 8 months ago.
Yeah, and Stu eats baby formula. he can down 5 containers of that shit a day.
Yeah, I wish I.
Luckily, Glenn only eats 3, so they can fuck up a Walgreens if they go together.
Kind of went earlier because maybe I would have had the car delivered already. But so I then decided, you know what? I'm going to go with an interim car. I'm going to get a new car that's not exactly what I want. That's not the one I ordered.
Oh my fucking God. Like the fucking lazy privilege of this shit stacked on top of, they were just telling people to like stockpile baby food because the end times are coming. And he's like, by the way, so you ordered a special car. Yeah, and then I got a kind of like a car, like a mitigating car, like a car between, until my other cool car shows up. I'm going to get my second choice that I'll drive till my first choice shows up in a couple of months.
Because I want to get something.
Yeah, in case
this thing dies.
Yeah.
And
what? Hold on. The door came open. You can see the sun on me because I don't want to annoy the neighbors by yelling too much. Yeah, that's better. I was like, I'm going to start irritating the neighbors by screaming, fuck you. Like, the thing is, an argument's going on, but not hear who I'm yelling at. So they'll assume it's an elderly person or a child or someone who can't fight back.
But, it's running great, so it should last for a long time anyway, hopefully. But
again, this is fucking... Thanks, Wes.
Right as I'm ordering that one, which is supposed to come in today.
Wow.
By the way, today.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Couple weeks.
It was a couple weeks ago I did it.
Yeah.
And then right as 3 or 4 days ago,
Look, Glenn doesn't look bored at all, Stu. Great story.
Got an email from the first dealership and said, your order was just pulled for production. So I said, what does that mean? And she said, we should have a target production date within 30 days.
Oh my gosh.
So that doesn't mean I get the car within 30 days. It means we should have a target production date.
I mean, this is the life we're all going to be living now.
Oh, fuck you. Jesus Christ. There's mass graves in Bucha. People, like, Mariupol is under siege. Fucking, the Russians want to move in from Belarus into Latvia and Lithuania. They're threatening nuclear destruction of Finland and Sweden because they want to join NATO to just protect themselves from Putin's bullshit. And this motherfucker is like, you know what? This is the kind of shit we're going to have to deal with. You're going to order a car, and then they're going to tell you you got a date for it. And there's, that's the problem with the market pressure on stuff, the industry. Jesus Christ.
This is the life we're all going to be living.
Fuck you. Yes, we're all going to be living the life where we specialty order a vehicle on a website and they keep us updated on the progress of a fucking vehicle with a goddamn computer on board that will be delivered special to you at your house.
Thinking about how bad my situation is. And it's bad, from the perspective of, this is America, right?
Yeah,
I order a freaking car.
It's not bad. I mean, we're not...
Jesus Christ, these dudes. This motherfucker's just prepare. This is the end. Get some... If you've got a baby, they might starve. So get your food together and then just trust in the Lord. So anyways, tell me about this Mercedes you just ordered.
Playing a violin for you, but it's...
They're supposed to be...
Yeah.
Knocking at my door every hour of the day to make me buy a car. That's...
No, they're not.
Remember the car salesman thing?
Yes, you had to go to the lot, fucker.
Oh, they're harassing you all the time.
Now they're like, I'm not sure we can get you into a car.
I'm trying to spend money at these places, so they won't even return my calls or emails.
It's crazy.
So, but my story...
Jesus Christ. These two gluttonous fucks...
pales in comparison to your story.
Oh, don't bring this up. No. No.
Oh my God. Is it going cute? Is this supposed to be like they prepped this story before the fucking show?
Which I remember, I'm pretty sure Mitt Romney was running for president when you ordered one particular
So I bought
vehicle.
an old Toyota Land Cruiser.
Right.
And I just
Jesus Christ.
just wanted it to work. Okay, just wanted it to work.
Right.
And now 3 years later, 3 years later, this place that I don't know what I was thinking. This place that is working on it. Because I blew a gasket last summer, and I'm like, okay, guys, put it in a box. You don't even have to put it together. Just put it in a box and send it to me.
So it's an old Land Cruiser that you were getting like to
recondition, so you could actually use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you apparently did, because that's how you blew a fucking gasket a year ago.
How old is it?
1976.
Okay, so
he bought a specialty 1976 Land Cruiser. Okay, may I? Point of privilege, Your Honor. Give me a goddamn second. Let's see. Find it. 1 of 10. Let's see. Oh, here we go. See if I can. Oh, so this is the vehicle he's talking about. This guy right here. This is the vehicle. This is a 1976. It's right. Yeah, 1976 Toyota Land Cruiser. He just wants it to run. It's a specialty car, and he just bought this. Now, how much? How much is this car? How much? Whoops. Oh, sorry. I've got to move this over. Hold on. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I got to shrink this down. Hold on. That'll do it. $99,995. That's the beige model. This guy's, here's an old one. Here's a busted one for $28,995. Yeah, so basically it's an investment. So he's buying the $30,000 model, and then he's going to sell it for this. For 100. Yes? Hello? Hold on. It's almost time. Hold on. Hello. Hey, what's happening? All right, guys. I have to sign off. I will see you guys later. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else, and we're going to run the song and all that kind of stuff because it's 5:20 and I went overtime, and that's how life works. But we'll finish this video when I have better internet at the other house, and I will see you guys very soon. Hold on. I've got to play. Where's my outplaying music? Give me 1 second. And let's see. I've got to bring this guy up. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. I think, why is that not playing? There it is. Okay. Now I can go. Okay. Bye, everybody.